and this is MMA Fight Talk. We are live. I'm here with my boy Melvin Guillard, ex-UFC fighter, now fighting in Bellator, about to whoop some ass on Friday. Melvin, how you been, man? It's been a long time since I've seen you. I used to train with you back at with Saul Solis at MMA or at Metro Fight Club back in the day. How have you been since then, man?
I've been good, man. It's been up and down. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if anybody kept up with my career, I've had up and down, especially the last 2 years. I was battling a real bad hand injury that I didn't know that was as bad as it was until I completely snapped my wrist back in August in the Brandon Goods fight. And, after getting my hand fixed and, finally coming, talking with some specialists, and getting everything done, I feel great, man. I'm ready to go for Friday, Bellator 149 live on Spike. I'm excited about it. I'm just blessed to be back. I got my mental side back, for a while. This time last year, I was not wanting to fight anymore, and I was thinking about, like, retiring, and then I was like, you know what, bro, I've given this, I've given MMA my whole life, since I was 13. I don't want to quit now, I'm only 32, so, I just had to get my mind right, and now that I'm injury free, I'm just ready to start having fun again, man. And this weekend's going to be the start of that. From here, I'm just going to keep going up. And I'm going to just keep elevating myself, and pushing myself to those limits that I haven't done in a long time.
100%, man. And I got, nothing but faith in you, man. I did want to get into that with you, man. I noticed that you posted something on Ronda Rousey and her feeling suicidal after her loss. And she kind of went into a dark place. And I was just going to ask you, is that what happened to you, man? Did you went into a dark place?
My dark place was a little different. My dark place was indulging in drugs and, alcohol. It's just that party lifestyle with a bunch of losers, people that's just stuck in that atmosphere. And when I say loser, I mean it. It's just a loser lifestyle. You don't get nothing out of it.
Yeah.
And I thought I could medicate myself to get rid of all the pain. And then I started as I watched the UFC. And I was released from the UFC. Not for anything bad, but because I lost the fight against Michael Johnson and it was a boring fight. So Joe Silva, he ended up releasing me. And that was after one loss. They didn't even look at the fights before that. So I took it a little personal against Joe Silva. But me and Dana continued to be cool. And he was like, hey, kid, go get 2 fights, come back. I wasn't happy. I wasn't in a good place. And then I ended up at World Series. I got nothing bad against World Series. My problem was with Ali. I never had anything wrong. I had no problems with World Series. I just didn't appreciate Ali lying to me the way he did, for other reasons. But, I went from the UFC to World Series, and I gave the UFC 9 years.
Yeah.
Almost 10. I almost completed 10.
Yeah.
And out of season 2, I thought I would be the last man standing, but unfortunately Rashad is that guy now.
Yeah.
And then from there I moved on to Bellator. I'm 150% happy with Bellator. The Scott Coker and them are giving me, they'll allow me to do things with my contract that I know the UFC would never allow me to do. And because of that, it makes me want to get up and go and fight again. It makes me want to go start having fun again.
Absolutely.
And, being in that dark place, going back to Ronda, I feel for the girl because, it's a loss, but I make jokes about this to people. I'm like, second place is not cool.
No.
I don't have any kids, fortunately, right now, but if I had a kid and my kid brought a second place trophy home, I wouldn't be proud of that.
Yeah.
As a father, I wouldn't because, most people say, oh, that's not cool to stay. Yes, because if you tell your kid it's okay to come in second, you're telling your kid it's okay to lose. And if
Yes.
you're being okay with losing, then why even go and play something or go and compete at something if you're going to be okay with losing? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I can feel why she feels that way. When I lost my first fight, against Carlo Prater in FFC, and I was 22-0, man, I was riding a high. I lost to him, first time I ever got submitted, I locked myself away for 2 weeks in the house, man. I didn't even want to fight no more.
Yeah.
My high school referee coach Warren Donnelly had to come and get me out of the house.
Yeah.
I've been there. I know what she's going through. But you know what? Because she felt that way, it's why she's going to have so much more success going forward. Because Ronda's a warrior, man. She's a winner. All she knows her whole life is winning. All right, she had one little setback, and it didn't sit too well with her. You know what I mean? So I don't look at her any different because they say, oh, she wanted to commit suicide. She Shit, I've had times I wanted to commit suicide over a freaking girl. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? My mom saved my life 3 times from suicide.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So everybody goes through their phases of what put them in that dark place. But as a human being, what people don't understand, we are athletes, we are gladiators, we are put on a certain pedestal. But we're human just like everybody else.
Yeah.
We cry just like everybody else. We have feelings just like everybody else. And people have to understand that and respect that. And as soon as fans
100%.
can do that,
What?
and we can move forward and become great. Like, you know, God put us there, you know, we're on a different pedestal than everybody else because we're all staring greatness right in the eye. And I'm a victim of that. I'm staring greatness in the eye, but I've been my own worst enemy my whole life.
Yeah. What pulled you out of that dark place, man? What do you attribute it to?
You know what? To be honest, it was something so simple. I got tired of seeing everybody else, you know, in the spotlight. I'm an attention horse. I mean, everybody know that from being on season 2 Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
I drive on attention. You know, when I see the big crowd and I'm walking out of the tunnel, that's when I wake up. You know, like this weekend, you know, I'm fighting in Bellator. This is the second time I'm fighting on a Horace Gracie card. You know, when I fought on Horace Gracie and Matt Hughes card, that's when I knocked out Rick Davis.
Okay.
All right? So cards like this, man, you can't help but get up for, man. You know, I'm already anticipating that walkout. I'm already anticipating when that cage closed. You know, this is a legendary card that's going to be talked about and watched for years and years to come. So I know I'm going to win this fight.
Yeah.
I had to ask myself why I'm going to win this fight because I'm fighting on the card with 2 of the greatest legends to ever mark this sport. You know what I'm saying? And for me to be a part of something great, I gotta perform nothing but great. You know what I mean? So if anybody's gonna bet their money this weekend on the Melvin Guillard fight, this is the weekend you bet on.
That's right. That's what I'm saying.
And right now, you know, I'm walking around, I'm only 10 pounds over. You know what I mean? Normally I'm like 15, about 18 pounds over, you know, this close to the fight.
Yeah.
Now I'm 10 pounds over and I feel great right now. I don't feel drained, I don't feel tired. You know, I'm at my uncle's house right now visiting my grandparents. You know, and that's another thing. You know, I got a surprise visit from my whole family. So it became like a little small family reunion right now.
That's
so
cool.
Everything is in line right now for me to win this weekend.
That's good. That's good to know, man. I'm glad to hear that your head's in a good place, you know, because, I mean, honestly, man, that's the only thing I think that's ever held you back. You are an amazing fighter, an amazing athlete. You bring so much to the table. I mean, I train with you. I'm 6'4", and I weigh, you know, a good 220 pounds when we were wrestling or training together, and you were putting me on my head. So I mean, I know you've got the abilities, man. You know, in fact,
I've always had it, man. But you know what? You know, like I tell everybody, if I had won the world title in the UFC, if I had the opportunity to fight for the world title, that is, had I won the world title in the UFC, let's say 6-7 years ago, I probably would have messed that chance up as a young adolescent, you know, immature kid, making money I would have been making. If I'd have been making Conor McGregor's money at that time and the attitude I had towards things and I could do whatever I want, get away with it type of attitude, I would probably be in prison right now as a former UFC champion who went down bad early.
Yeah.
You know? And then would have still got trapped in the drug life and partying and women, you know, and I'm glad all that's over. You know what I mean? I'm glad that's behind me because now all I can see is greatness. I visualize myself, you know, not only, you know, winning fights, like getting my hand raised, and my coach always taught me, you know, you can visualize a fight 100 times. It's going to be different 100 times. The only thing that's the same is the ending. And when I'm getting my hand raised, the visualization, that's the only thing in the visualization that's real, that's the same. So the same way I look at life now is the same way. I see myself being a Bellator World Champion before the end of the year. I will fight for the Bellator World Champion. Multiple weight classes, 170, 155. I have to speak it into existence for it to happen. If I don't believe it, if I don't tell myself it can happen, it's never going to happen.
Yeah.
But when I tell myself it's going to happen and I preach to myself day in and day out and I say, hey, I'm going to be a world champion in 2 weight classes, guess what? When those two opportunities are presented to me, hopefully one will be presented to me this year before the year is out, and hopefully the next one will be presented to me early next year. That's the timeline I'm looking for. But me saying that and living by it and training and busting my ass to what I'm doing now, I know it's going to happen. Can't nobody beat me when I'm at my best. Every time, the 15 fights I've lost in my career, I have 179 victories. I have 15 losses, 2 draws, and 2 no contests. You know, there's a lot of fights I don't have sanctioned. So they were professional fights, but they were underground. Okay, so that's why people are getting the misconception. Well, I only got this many on record. Yeah, that's what's on record, but there's a lot of fights off record that people don't know about.
Yeah.
Okay? But for me, those 15 losses, that's all I want to ever lose. I don't want to lose no more than that 15. 15 is that number that I don't want to go past.
For
You know what
sure.
I mean? But this fight this weekend will be my 180th victory, and I can't wait to celebrate that.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Now you're down in Florida, right? Not right now, but that's
Yes,
where your
I'm
team.
in Creek. I'm at American Top Team, man.
And how have they been for you, man? I mean, is that your home? You feeling really good?
Top team itself is amazing. I love the gym. I love the guys. You know, unfortunately, I have one hiccup with one coach that I'm not seeing eye to eye with. I won't go out there and put his name out there. But there's one coach on the team that just, I mean, the guy just have it out for me, but he try to find every reason to try to want to kick me off the team or something crazy. I got teammates that are fighting for me right now to keep me on the team. You know what I mean? And this is the first time I'm actually speaking about it, but I think it's just bull. You know what I mean? That a fighter should have to go through this when, you know, at the end of the day, people don't realize fighters pay memberships. We don't get paid like football players or baseball players or basketball players. We don't get paid to go to a gym and be on a team. We pay people to be on a team.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think a lot of people got to get that perception right about MMA. MMA is not going to ever be like a football team unless you got owners with big pockets that are paying fighters like us to come there and represent their team.
Absolutely, 100%.
It's like me going to buy a golf membership. If I want to buy a golf membership and I want to go to a golf course once every 8 months, that's my business. I'm still paying my money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that tends to be one of the situations that I'm in right now.
Yeah.
You know
And that being said,
I let it fly over my head. It's no big deal. It'll be handled at a timely manner.
Yeah.
You know what? Right now I'm in the right. If I didn't feel I was in the right, I wouldn't have nothing to say. I'd be like, damn, I'm dead wrong.
yeah, 100%.
You know, when I got teammates fighting for me and coming to bat for me and saying, no, Melvin's been here. Melvin's been a teammate. Melvin's been helping. Melvin's been there to help all the other guys, even when Melvin's not training. Even when Melvin had pins in his hand and I was hurt. You know what I'm saying? I was still around. So at the end of the day, man, it's like, you know, I got that one little dark cloud that's hanging over my head at American Top Team. That shouldn't be there. But by the time I get back, I promise you it won't be there.
That's good, man. You know, I hope it all works out for you, man. You know, hearing you say that.
It will. You know why? Because I'm not about to sit there and jump ship and everybody be like, oh, why'd you leave? Why'd you leave another team?
Yeah.
I'm proud of that. You know what I mean?
Well,
I've left a couple of teams, but at the end of the day, I can still go back to Greg Jackson if I want to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can still go back to the Black Zillions. That almost happened recently. I can go back to the Black Zillions if I want to.
See,
you know what I'm saying? I never leave anywhere bad. You know
yeah, exactly.
I'm not one of those fighters either, you know, since I'm going to put it out there. I'm not out there getting in trouble to outside of the gym, you know, failing drug tests for PEDs, you know, embarrassing the teams and stuff like that. I'm not one of those guys.
Yeah,
you know
100%. Well, like you said too, though, you're paying. You're paying for a service. You're paying for a service as well, you know. And what a lot of people don't understand is when you're a professional MMA fighter, like you said, you're paying for the coaching, and you really need that personal attention to be put onto you. That's part of what you're paying for, you know. And you can't.
Hey man, look, you preaching to the choir, bro.
Yeah.
I know, but I've been around this game for 23 years. I know the ins and outs. You know,
yeah.
It got so commercial. You got coaches wanting to get paid off their names, and I'm like, some of these coaches aren't as great as they say they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, they following the Greg Jacksons in the week, Mike Weekly's on, and now they want to be, you know, because I train guns on the sword, so I want to make this kind of money too. Everybody don't make the same amount of money.
No.
And that's what I need these people to understand.
Yep.
Everybody that you see in the limelight ain't making limelight money, especially right now if you're in the UFC.
Yeah. Especially right now, especially these Reebok deals and stuff like that, man. These fighters.
No, when they released me, it happened. Honestly, it was almost like it was meant for me to be released.
It was a blessing. I think it was good, man. Yeah, I think it was good.
I was heartbroken. And when they released me and then that Reebok deal fell,
yeah.
I was like, man, that was God moving me out of that path because I know I would have got fired by now because I would have kept my mouth shut.
Yeah.
I would have been like, man, what are y'all doing? Like, I would have been that one to speak up for everybody when everybody
Absolutely.
else would.
And now you have freedom.
They were going to put me up. They were going to probably fire me anyway.
Mm-hmm. See, and now you have freedom to do what you want, and that's good. I'm glad that Bellator is taking care of you.
You know what? Bellator's growing big, man, every day. They're snatching up a lot of talent that the UFC can't hold on to right now. So guess what? All the fighters like me, you know, the Cowboys, the Ben Henderson, you know, the guys that were out there putting it down, you know what I mean? Like most of our fights didn't go to the judges' card, and they was out there winning fights and getting finishes. A lot of those guys are going to cross over to Bellator. Then what's going to happen? you're going to see all your favorite UFC fighters fighting in Bellator. So why not click over the Spike and watch for free instead of buying a pay-per-view and watch the guys fight?
Yes, 100%.
Every fight on pay-per-view now is going 3 5-minute rounds. I think some of the girl fights are better than the freaking guy fights.
100%.
And I still love the UFC.
Yeah.
I just felt like when I was in the UFC, it was like a certain fraternity. It was like a brotherhood. It was like the elite of the elite. It was almost like being in special forces.
Yeah.
Now you just got every show in the freaking in UFC. It's like somebody going to the army and coming back home from basic training saying, "Oh, I've been to Iraq. I've been to war." You don't know how many fake stories I hear from people. And I'm like, "Oh, so what's your experience over there? So what cities were you in?" And I never been over there, but I got a military family, so you hear cities. And I'm not saying like, "Oh, you was in Iraq." Or you was in like certain big cities, like what small cities next to it that you had to go in.
Yeah, yeah.
So people don't know, and then they freeze up, and I'm like, oh, I just busted you on the line. That's how I feel about the UFC. You got guys coming off these stupid reality shows now, and only because they go on a reality show for 15 minutes of fame, you see them doing seminars and trying to go get paid to teach people what. Only thing they know how to do and they barely can do is dye their fucking hair right.
Yep. Yep.
But that's what the sport has come to. It comes to a lot of fakes and phonies, and that's where I have the problem. I don't yes, I care about the money, you know what I'm saying, because we got to make a living, and by the time we pay people, we haven't made shit. But then the thing that don't fit right with me is when you got all these fake phonies posing as UFC fighters. Dude, they got so many UFC fighters, and I'm at American Top Team. They got a bunch of them over there, and not only no disrespect. There's some I don't even know in the UFC until one of the coaches is training them for a fight. And I'm like, oh, shit, I didn't know you was in the UFC.
Yeah.
No disrespect, but, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing nothing to stand out.
Yeah. No, you're right, man, 100%. There isn't. And then the people that they do.
I'm not even in the UFC. I've been out of the UFC 2 years now. And people still see me, oh, man, when's the next UFC fight? People forget that I'm in Bellator, but people still see me and expect to see me on a UFC fight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm not even in the UFC. So imagine how the guys that are in the UFC should fucking feel right now. Like, I'm not even a UFC fighter anymore. I'm always be a UFC fighter by in heart. Because I was like the last of the dying breed of the real. Now, I don't know what the hell it is, bro. And I mean that. Like, I'm not mad at Dana and them. I'm mad at the fact that it's a bunch of amateurs fighting in the damn UFC. Because you look at their record. Some of these guys are like 3-1, 5-1, 6-2. That amateur pedigree, these guys just turned pro. They're not ready to be in the UFC in the spotlight at that on that platform. They don't deserve that. They didn't work hard for that.
No. They were nowhere where you were when you did the Ultimate Fighter.
No, not even close. Bro, when I got on Ultimate Fighter, they came looking for me. I didn't fill out an application. I didn't apply for Ultimate Fighter. I was getting ready to defend one of my kickboxing titles overseas. I thought it was a prank call, bro. I hung up the phone on a Spike production. I thought it was really a prank call because I was like, this one's for the 170. I don't want to go on the show for 170. I'll wait a while. I'll wait a couple of seasons. Yeah. And then I hung up. They called right back. Hey, it's a real call. How fast can you come to Vegas to do the interview? I said, if it's real, I'll come this weekend. Blew me right out. Then I realized it was real. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at all these people now. People they're applying for a UFC job like you apply for a regular job. So right there, I felt I had an advantage. I felt like I was doing something different. You know what I'm saying? Because they came looking for me. I didn't look for them. So when they released me, I felt bad, but in the end, I didn't feel all that bad because at the end of the day, they gave me my fame. They gave me the platform for me to be who I am. They gave me the platform for me to show the world how great I am at what I do best. And I always said, I'm still the best 155er in the game. When I'm on my game and my head is focused, can't nobody at 155 beat me. And they all know that. So that's why you don't see guys jumping up trying to hurry up and fight me other than Patricia Pitbull right now. And I'm going to get his ass in April. I'm going to send a phone message to Patricia Pitbull. Don't ever call Melvin Guillard out. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Do you feel that there's a definite point to be made after your debut fight against Gertz?
Yeah, of course. I snapped my wrist in the first round, bro. I knew something was wrong with my hand. I went into that fight with my hand not acting right. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I got kicked in it in training, like a week, 2 weeks before the fight. I got kicked in it. So the hand was bothering me. It kept bothering me. So I didn't think nothing of it. I'm like, my hand always bothered me. It'll go away. The pain never went away. You know what I'm saying? So I probably went into that fight injury. Didn't even know it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just thought it was a normal occurrence. For the last 2 years, my hands been bothering me a lot. But unfortunately, you know what? It was a blessing in disguise because I still almost won that fight. I'm going to get a revenge on that fight. I'm going to fight Hurt again. I know he's hurt right now. He's a great warrior, but I'm going to get that win back. But that's a W that's an L I should have never got. And I got that L only because I was injured. And I still almost finished the guy.
Mm-hmm.
So when I fight Campos this weekend, I'm slowly about to send a message to Patricky Pitbull. And I'm going to see if he's going to be that eager to fight me after he see me fight Friday night.
Good. That's awesome, man. So that's good, man. I can't wait to see it, man. I love it when you let your hands go. I think you have some beautiful skills, my friend.
Right now, I got a chip on my shoulder, bro. This gonna stay on there. I don't want to make no friends. I don't need no new friends in Bellator. I got enough friends. I got to tell everybody, I got enough friends I left in the UFC.
Right. So
convert over anyway.
So you're gonna get.
I don't need to make no new friends. I want to make enemies with everybody at 155.
Yeah.
And possibly 170.
There you go.
Fuck who they are. I want to fight all of them. I'm going to fight all of them, and I'm going to be ready to fight everybody.
Is your plan?
And I'm going to stay ready this time. And now I'm going to see if everybody's going to be so eager to want to say, oh, I want to fight Melvin Guillard. I promise you, I'm going to have people dropping out of fights like they drop flies. I promise you that. Nobody's going to want to fight me, and everybody's going to do like Mike Bruce did. He's a friend of mine, but I don't give a fuck right now. He bailed out of a fight, never even said when he was hurt. They never even disclosed what he got hurt by or what he hurt. You see what I'm saying? Come on, man. That sounds kind of fishy to me. But guess what? Because of who I am and because I act so nicely and I'm such respectful, I asked Mr. Coker, can I please fight him when he come back? Let him have to come back to work. So he got to come through me to come to work. And I think that's how it should be. Because I'm tired of fans paying money to see a certain fight and then guys feel like it's okay to just pull out a fight. That shit ain't cool. If you're not going to be a fighter, you shouldn't sign up for this shit. You need to go be a fucking ballerina or something. Or go run track. Or go play basketball. Or do something else because you're not a fighter.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. That being said, is your plan to take 2 belts in Bellator and then try?
I'm going to take 2 belts in Bellator, bro. I know Ben Henderson's coming and getting the belt debut. We got the same major. Whatever. I don't care. But at the end of the day, bro, when it's time to fight for those belts, Melvin Guillard going home with those straps, bro.
Yeah.
I promise you that. I put that on my daddy's grave, and I put that on my boy Randall's grave, my mentor, my idol. So I put on gloves because of that guy. And that's why this fight this weekend, that's a tribute to Kevin Randall. Because you know I'm about to come in there and knock the ass on Friday. I'm leaving it all in the ring, and I ain't leaving shit up to the judge. For
sure, man. Are you planning on, after you get your belts in Bellator, you plan on trying to get back to the UFC, or are you just pretty much watching?
I'm staying right where I'm at, bro. I got no desire to go back to the UFC right now. As of right now, no. But I don't know what the future holds. I can't say I never will go back. But the way that Reebok deal with shit working, I know I would never go back. Not right now.
Yeah,
On the financial side, hell no. But I'm happy where I'm at, bro. I like the only reason I talk about the UFC is because I'm still a part of it. I gave so many years to the UFC, so it's not gonna just go away overnight.
100%.
I understand that. But I'm about to make such a mark in Bellator and become Bellator World Champion so when people don't forget I was in the UFC. That's my goal going forward right now. I want to be the face of Bellator.
There you go. I like that, my friend. I like that a lot.
I want to fight for people that's going to treat me like a fighter, treat me like a champion, treat me like a person that deserves the money that they deserve. That's what I want, and I can get that from Mr. Croker and the organization with Bellator. I know I can. And it's all up to me going out there day in and day out and doing my job the way I'm supposed to.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being underpaid. You know, I'm 32 years old. I'll be 33 next month. I want to make sure I got retirement and something to leave behind for my wife and possibly my kids when I do start having them. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for the UFC, that's like fighting from paycheck to paycheck. It's like I might as well go work 9 to 5 and just pay my bills paycheck to paycheck. That's the feeling I get if you're in the UFC right now. And I can't have that.
Yeah.
Because all of us ain't getting Conor McGregor money.
Yep. Straight up. That's awesome, man. Hey, look.
I'm gonna end it on that, my man, because I gotta get my workout in. I hope I gave you enough.
Hey, no problem, Melvin. Yeah, this Friday, man, February 19th, Toyota Center, Melvin Guillard versus Derek Campos. He's about to put this fool to sleep. Melvin, thank you so much, man. I can't thank you enough, man.
Anytime, bro. And look, you know, I'll give you a post-fight interview after the fight so I can tell you I told you so, because that's my mentality right now, my attitude. I want to call back all the interviews and say, I told you.
Cool deal.
And that's in a good way. Because I think a lot of people still doubt me right now, bro. So I'm about to raise them eyebrows.
Yes, for sure. Hey, man, I got nothing but love for you. I want to thank you once again, man, and good luck this Friday, partner.
Anytime, bro. Let me know when you post this interview so
It's
I can
it's
repost it.
Hey, it's live. It's live on YouTube right now. Just go to Isaac Eubank on YouTube. It's even on my Facebook right now. You can reshare it, or on Twitter. So, all right, man.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
All right.
Thanks. Nice talking.
Cool. Peace. That was Melvin Guillard, you guys. Oh my God, I can't wait to see that fight. I'm so excited. That dude is nothing but straight up heart. I mean, he's been around for so long, been through so many fights. You just root for him. You can't help but root for him. You know, he's a good guy, you guys. So be sure to tune in this Friday. I want to thank you guys for tuning in right now. There's going to be commercials, so I'm not going to post live during the fights, guys. But I will, post my reactions. And you heard it from the man himself. We're going to do a post-fight interview live for you guys on my YouTube channel, MMA Fight Talk. Peace.